Happy Tuesday, everybody! And guess what, man? We're live and we are recording episode 100. Hey, man, it's been a long journey, and I'm so happy for all of you who have followed me here, who pushed me here, who came here, who left. Hopefully, some of y'all came back or at least brought somebody along with it. But it's been a nice, fun journey. I've recorded well over 100 episodes, but then like I stopped counting at one point and then started back over. But it's just all over the place, kind of like I am. So, hey, it's the big baby. And I'm back for the 100th time. 100. And today we're going to reflect on the journey of Big Baby's podcast. And then after that, we're going to have an interview with my near and dear friend, Morgan Woods. And we're going to talk about her brand, Morgan La Reine, and all that it encompasses, along with some other stuff, a little, hot topics, some current events and stuff like that, just to get her perspective on it. But let's talk about 100, man. It's been a long time coming, man. It takes me back to freshman year of Morehouse on the Stoop and thinking about the radio show that we wanted to do there. And it just didn't happen. Lazy, timing wasn't right, whatever it may be. It just didn't happen. And then kind of like forgetting about the whole dream of being a talking head. And then it became Snapchat rants. Oh, man, I used to go on the Snapchat rant like every day. And then it got to the point, it was like, you know what? I want to do more than just a rant. I want to like package my rants into a conversation. And so I worked on the catch up with Sean, which was really fun. I really appreciate that. Shout out to Sean. You can find us tomorrow on Fansided on their news show Sports in Order. You can stream that on Facebook and Twitter. I'll have those links available for you all. And we're going to be streaming tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock Pacific, talking about sports. It's going to be a nice reunion. But anyways, then I started saying, hey, I want to work by myself. So I just started like recording. And then I did Big Baby and the Bovine. Shout out to the Bovine. Kyle, you've been great. I'm happy you're a part of the team. Shout out to my ghostwriters. And it's just been like a long, fun journey, man. But some of the highlights of the 100 episodes, man. BS in Bahrain. You know what the fuck going on. That was part one, right? Or part two, excuse me. We did a great podcast that we ended up taking down. I don't even think I have the audio for that anymore, but it was so funny. You had me, Chew, and WAP, and that was like the first like real introduction to regular guests on my podcast. And that's where Cheese Eggs came from, the development of what became like a movement. You know what I mean? And then I did the Voices of the Ville series, man, and that was fun. Like, gave me the opportunity to talk to different people from back home and just let them just get their stuff off on the pod. And now that's becoming a reoccurring thing where I'm reaching out to various people to come on the pod. Hell, Morgan from the Ville, and that's another person whose voice we're going to hear today. So shout out to my hometown for, supporting me and all that they've done. Then we go to Operation Oil Money, and that's when we really got cooking. That's when Joni came on the pod, and I had a co-host, but not only a co-host, somebody to help me produce the show and guide me and keep me, you know what I mean? Like, hey, get back on topic. Hey, this is a nice topic. And it became like a back and forth thing where I'm no longer generating my topics alone, but I'm working in a team concept. Then we did Living a Lie, and that was the first time I brought Wayne on. And it was absolutely amazing. And Wayne, shout out to you. You're now a staple on the pod along with Candace and Chew, and that's what opened up that door. And then You Miss Me, I Get It. Probably the most funny episode that we ever recorded, man. We had brunch at my house, and there was just so many just gems and bars dropped that day. Like, we came up with the You Miss Me, I Get It, But Equal Rights, and so many other different topics that we could just keep using and building on the show. And next weekend, Wayne, Candace, and Chew will be back. And we're going to talk about some of that stuff because we got some new stuff coming for y'all. Hey, Hey, but then when they see us, the most the, the most popular episode I did, and that was when me and Joni we sat down, we watched When They See Us, and then we went back over it and we gave our thoughts on that documentary on Netflix, and really spoke to the importance of the Central Park Five and what they mean to our community, and how they were so wrongly treated by the New York justice system, and how that's a problem that we are still continuing to deal with today. And it's so unfortunate because, like, stuff is still happening, and this was years ago, but we still see the injustice that is going on in the world. And that kind of, at that point, I really started to feel myself, man. Like, I was like, hey, pod is growing, numbers is booming. I can do whatever I want. But no. Then I had the Amanda Seals incident, which I was like, man, F Amanda Seals. I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing me. Why you mad? I'm just talking a little bit of noise. And then I saw like a decline in listens, downloads, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong here? Have I gone too far? And then, I just kept, but I kept at it, obviously, because it is what it is. You got to keep pushing. And then quarantine happened, COVID happened. And during the COVID, I really found my niche. That's when I really started the rebrand, where I started, focusing more on serious issues. Because what many of you may not know, the whole purpose of this podcast was to address serious topics with a comedic point of view. But what I ended up doing was getting so caught up in the comedy that I forgot about the serious voice that I could have. And I shut off so many different people by my presentation, because it was MF this, GD that. And granted, I'm still the same person, and I may speak that way privately, but understanding that publicly, as somebody who's trying to build a platform, you don't want to isolate people just because of the language that you use. And seeing the way it's grown since then, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for caring. Thank you for sharing. For anybody who's listened to this podcast and got something from it, thank you. Anybody who listened to this podcast and decided, you know what, I can go out and do that. I can go out and talk to people. Thank you. For anybody who came on and just had fun with me, thank you. I appreciate you so much. But look here, man, we're not here for me today. We're here for our special guest, Miss Morgan La Reine. Let me bring her in real quick. Mo! I can't hear you. Hold on, hold on. There we go. Hold on. You in now? You're muted right now, baby. I cannot hear a word you're saying. All right. So as she's getting her sound worked out, I just want to tell y'all a little bit about Mo, right? Morgan has been one of my closest friends for over 10 years, man. It's been since way back to high school. And it's crazy how we got close. And if you ask me how we became such close friends, I honestly couldn't tell you. Probably from like some MySpace conversations that just continued on. And then we started kicking. Here we have it. And it's been a great friendship, one of the most consistent friendships I've had in my life. And watching her grow into the nice young lady she's become, the loving mother that she is, and now someone who's building her own platform, her own brand. It's really beautiful to see. And I'm so happy for her. Like, you just don't understand, man, to see the what Morgan La Reine is growing into. Cause I just remember her talking to me, privately about the idea of it, then just continuing to cultivate it, and now providing a tangible product for people, and seeing the way that it's been received. Because I mean, she got t-shirts, she got flip-flops and stuff. I have a pair of the flip-flops. And I'm not gonna give away too much of it, but it's so much deeper than what it appears on the surface. And that's the one beautiful thing I love about it, because you want, if you're giving somebody a tangible product, you want them to walk away with something, a reason why they should probably use it. I mean, I like this merch I sell. I don't sell it because I love it. I mean, because I want to sell merch. No, I sell it because I want to have the ability to provide something for people so that they can understand the message that I'm trying to give out to them. But look, we're having technical difficulties, so we're going to take care of this real quick. Thank you all for listening, but we're going to be back. Big baby at for now.